Hey there, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Katie and this is Louisiana Cooking and Living. And today we are making something very exciting, I guess for us, I'm not sure, for you. Our favorite barbecue restaurant is Sonnys BBQ, and it's in the southeast of the United States. It's, I think, headquartered in um, Florida. So we've always loved going to Sonnys, and our favorite barbecue sauce is their sweet sauce. And we used to buy the gallon jugs at Sam's, and they no longer sell it. And it's very expensive to buy the jars of it at the actual restaurant or I think on Amazon. So I am trying to replicate my favorite Sonnys sweet sauce today. So I'm going to take you along and we'll see how this goes. So it's very easy. It starts with ketchup, that's the base. And then the recipe I kind of Googled to see if I could find something that's just a starting point. It uses yellow mustard, and I do have a jar of yellow mustard here, but it's not enough. So I'm just going to use some ground mustard. I'm going to improvise, taste test this as we're going, and see how we're doing. So let's get started. All right, to get started, I am tripling or hopefully quadrupling this recipe. We'll see what fits in this pot if I need to get a bigger pot out. So the original recipe is 3 cups of ketchup. And I have 3 quarts of ketchup here. So we're going to use, we're going to quadruple this recipe. All right, we'll move along now. All right, to this, we are going to be adding a quarter of a cup of brown sugar. Like I said, I'm quadrupling this recipe, but I think I'm going to up that a little bit anyway. I'm going to get my Worcestershire sauce out of the fridge. All right, it says we need a half a cup of Worcestershire, so I need 2 cups total. Let me get a different measuring cup. Almost this whole big bottle. All right, the next thing is, let's see, a cup and a half of apple cider vinegar. I didn't realize that I was getting kind of low on my apple cider vinegar, so I'm just going to have to use regular vinegar to make the difference. So that would be 4, 5, 6 cups. Because there is so much vinegar in this, this is a water bath canning recipe. Might need to get out my next jug of vinegar. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Give this a stir, see if it'll give us some more room. All right, the next thing is 1/4 cup of mustard. So we need a whole cup. I know I don't have a whole cup here. So I'm gonna add a little vinegar in here to swish it around. And then I'm gonna add some ground mustard. Use my little tiny whisk and try and whisk all this in. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the ground mustard. All right, we'll add this in. Running out of room here. All right, and the last thing is some garlic. I'm going to do a combination of garlic powder and some freeze-dried garlic that was made from fresh garlic. So the recipe calls for just a tablespoon of garlic powder. I'm going to do, because we love garlic, I'm going to do 3 of the garlic powder. And then I'm going to add some freeze-dried garlic to this. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't want any chunks in here. So I'm going to stick with the garlic powder. I'll just add the rest of this. I want my barbecue sauce to be smooth, so glad I thought about that before I put it in there. All right, we're going to move this over to the stove and let this just simmer for about 30 minutes. And then we'll give it a little taste test and see if we need to adjust anything. It didn't call for any salt. So I'm going to let this simmer for a little while. We'll taste it and see if we need to add some salt to it. As you can hear, I have my pressure canner going over here too. Doing a lot of canning today. They'll be in different videos, but this is some chili base that I'm pressure canning over here. So if you haven't caught that video, you might want to go back if you're interested and look at that video. So we're gonna let this simmer. Hopefully you can hear me over the pressure canner. We'll let this simmer for about 30 minutes and then we will give it a taste test. All right, something I kind of forgot that I wanted to add to my barbecue sauce. We're still simmering over here on the stovetop. with some liquid smoke. So I'm gonna go give a couple of squirts of this into there while it's simmering. We haven't taste tested it yet, but I remembered I wanted to add this. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a couple of squirts. All right, we'll let this keep simmering. All right, so this barbecue sauce was definitely an experiment, y'all. I have tried it a few times. I ended up adding 3 more cups of brown sugar to this. Now, like I said, we wanted the Sunny sweet sauce. And when I found the recipe, I guess I didn't realize that they were basing it off the original Sunny sauce, which is a very vinegary sauce. And so this sauce was super vinegary. I ended up adding 3 more cups of brown sugar. I added more of the liquid smoke to where I used half the bottle. I'm not quite sure how much that was, but it's half the bottle. Let me grab it and I'll see how many ounces it is. It's 4 ounces, so I added 2 ounces thereabouts total. And it was still pretty acidic, but I liked the flavor of it. Oh, I did add about another cup of ketchup also to thicken it up and maybe add a little bit more of the tomato flavor, trying to get rid of that acid from the vinegar. And then, sorry, I just started, going through my brain. How do I control the acid? How do I control the acid? How do I control the acid? Because I liked the taste of it. It just was, the acidity was just a little too much. And then I thought about baking soda would neutralize that acid. So I added 1 teaspoon of baking soda to it. It bubbled up like a little science project. Started in, and it was so much better. I went on and added a second teaspoon of that baking soda to this. And now I think we're at a pretty good level of acidity. So if you go to make this, I would either cut back on the vinegar. It would also make it thicker. I kept cooking it. I actually simmered this for about 2 hours to try and cook it down to make it a little bit thicker. So I would cut back on the vinegar because you can always add. Obviously, you can't take it out. You just have to kind of deal with it. Or you could do what I did and just add the baking soda. But we're at a good sweet sauce recipe now. So now we're going to jar this up, and I have my water bath canner on my stove here, heating up because my barbecue sauce is hot and I want to get it in a hot canner. So we'll water bath can this for 20 minutes. So let's get this jarred up. I have lots of jars. I'm not sure how many it will take, but let's just get this jarring. We're going to go with an inch headspace on this because if it starts boiling in there, I don't want it to siphon too much. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is going to clean our rims off with some vinegar. This is going to be sticky, so we want to make sure our rims are good and clean so we can get a good seal with our lids and our rings. All right, we're going to get our lids and rings on, fingertip tight. All right, we'll get these in the canner. I do have another rack. We do have one rack in the bottom of the canner so the jars don't bounce around on the bottom of the canner and break. And then I'll put another rack down and I will double stack these jars in there. If it's quartz, my canner's not tall enough to double stack, but because they are pints, I can double stack. Well, I guess I lied. I guess it's the half pints I can double stack. I cannot double stack the pints. So I'll kind of squeeze in what I can and then we'll have to run the canner a second time. So let me get the rest of these in there that I can. All right, I could not fit any more in there, so I got everything I could. I have 3 more jars. I'll have to rerun the canner. So like I said, these will run for 20 minutes and then we will take them out. So we'll be back. Okay, y'all, we got 12 pints of our barbecue sauce. When I was telling my husband about it last night, about how it was super tangy, that the vinegar level was kind of high, he was excited about that. He likes the sweet and the tanginess of the vinegar. So he's excited about getting this new barbecue sauce on our shelf. So I hope you give it a try. If you like a sweeter sauce, this is definitely a sweeter sauce. And if you like a tangy sauce, this definitely has some tang. But if you don't want the combo of the tangy and the sweet, I'd suggest either putting less vinegar or adding the baking soda like I did, or even a little bit more of the baking soda. That definitely neutralizes that acid in it. So I hope you give this recipe a try, and thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, we ask that you subscribe and share our videos with others. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.